Are we live?
We're live. So let me
Welcome.
go to in there. That's I don't know what is going on here, but I prefer this one.
Hmm. Kristian Livolsi. It's Wednesday. Welcome to the hot seat.
Hi, Simone. Welcome
Hi.
to Ecam Nightmares. And who's just walked in?
A little bit like that. Yeah, he just got home from school.
Oh,
Perfect
good.
timing for our live video.
Hi.
Mum, it's not school photo day yet. I know, I got the date wrong. Sorry. I did get the date wrong for school photos today. So I made Blake wear really nice clothes because I had B&I this morning. So I laid everything out. And then it's next week, not this week. Mum of the year. So he wasn't too happy with me having to change his outfit early in the morning. Do you want to talk to me about it after? So I'm just talking to Kristian now. And it's next Wednesday. It's next Wednesday. Thank you, sweet.
Well,
All
that's
right.
okay, Blake. Tomorrow you can go dressed as Batman.
Who would love that?
I love he's just like throwing his hat. Well,
Okay.
thank you to everyone. By the
Yes.
way, we have no one watching, which is I have
No.
no idea what's going on here.
I'm hoping it is live. We are live. It is
No, it is
Wednesday.
streaming. It's streaming.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's get into it. I'm doing the nice little hair flick today. It's hairdresser day. It is a wonderful day when that happens. It's been actually a really good day. There's been lots of new conversations happening for both you and I. So it's been a good Wednesday.
It
I'm
has indeed.
I'm ready to get straight into the topic that we're talking about today. Now we're continuing. We've been talking about execution and strategy the last couple of weeks, and we're just digging a little bit deeper into all of that today. So, Kristian, my first question for you is: should organizations track and evaluate the performance of strategic initiatives during execution? So, what metrics should we be looking at? What are we actually doing? Because we come up with the plan and then we say, okay, let's do it, and often we miss the whole part of actually managing and tracking what we're doing in between before getting to the final destination. So I'd love to hear your insights around that.
Look, Simone, absolutely. Tracking and evaluating the performance of strategic initiatives during execution is a really crucial part of it. And there's several reasons why. And I mean, the obvious one that comes to mind and why we do it is the alignment and the objectives. Then you've obviously got resource optimization, risk management, stakeholder accountability and engagement, really important. Obviously, continuous improvement, also informed decision making. But what I think is really important is transparency and communication,
Mm-hmm.
and then it builds confidence. So, without tracking and evaluating the performance of strategic initiatives, organizations would actually be navigating in the dark. And it's therefore imperative for ensuring that strategic goals are met and that the organization can also adapt as well as evolve in an ever changing business environment that we live in today.
Okay. Because that was only a minute. Gosh, that was good.
Yeah, I'm on schedule. I've got stuff to do today. So and saying something's not right that we've got no one watching it,
Yeah.
I think we'll make it fast. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what Ecamm has done today.
The joy of eCam. I think that's really interesting. The points that you just made there as well, because quite often the plan doesn't go so smooth, right? And if we're not looking at it along the way, we could be setting ourselves up for a little bit of disaster.
Absolutely, yeah. And look, strategies are the thinking behind the plan, or
Mm,
even before the plan, and then
yeah.
the plan needs to be executed. And one of the biggest challenges that people suck at execution. Um, like I'm a really great strategist,
Hmm.
and if I don't say so myself, but I need really great executioners to
Mm,
deliver those strategies because they are complex. And
yeah.
so I'm really blessed that we've got some of the best clients in the
Mm,
market. Like, even today we had lots of different conversations from people wanting me to write strategy. I had another couple in the office today as well. And, you know, and these people are like, oh, we're being referred to you. We also know that you're incredibly busy and you don't have time. And it's like, well, let's talk a little bit about you. Tell me about you, what your goals are, what your purpose. And out of the 3 people today, I had 3 alignments. And that's really rare, like 3 perfect alignments. And I think that comes down to the fact that, one person had been watching our content. I called him a stalker. He's been watching our content for years. And I'm really excited to work with him. I think it's going to be amazing. And the other 2, they were both wonderful women, and both have been referred by other clients. And so because our clients know that it has to be value alignment, that's how I make my decisions. So, most people use value alignment. Not many people do to hire people, right? I recruit to my values, but I also recruit my customers to my values.
Yeah.
Right? And then people always say, why is your retention rate so high? It's because my tribe is my tribe, man.
Yeah.
Like these are my people, and I'm their person. And that's really cool. And it's amazing when you start seeing that over and over and over again. Anyway.
Yeah, it's good. All right, let's move into question 2. So, question 2 is, what role does leadership alignment play in the successful execution of your business strategy? So this follows on really nicely from what you were actually just saying.
I really wish I had these questions in advance. Look, leadership alignment, Simone, is paramount in successful execution of business strategy, right? Now, for some of the reasons I already mentioned, but when the leaders of an organization are aligned, it directly impacts the effectiveness, the efficiency, and the overall success of all strategic initiatives. And let me explain to you why leadership alignment is so critical. And one of them is you got to have a unified vision, okay?
Yeah.
People without a vision perish. Vision is the first step in achieving what you want, because you've got a goal and you got the goal in mind. You know why you're doing it. Then you've got the constant messaging, right? If a leader is aligned, there's constant message. There's also a resource allocation, right? So you absolutely want your leaders aligned, because if you want something and say you're not one of the members of the leadership team and you need more resources, well, you're not going to get them if they're not aligned, because they're not going to understand why you need them. And most of the time, they're just going to think you're just trying to spend money. This also then stops the mitigation of silos that occurs when leaders, especially in layers of leadership, if there's a link that's not aligned. You also get faster decision making. When everyone's aligned and the leaders are aligned, you'll execute much better. All right. And so then you've got role modeling, risk management, you've got enhanced accountability. But also what you do is you have flexibility and adaptability. And then again, you have stakeholder confidence. So leadership alignment isn't just a nice to have. It's a fundamental requirement for strategic success. But when leaders are in sync, it magnifies the organization's capacity to execute its strategy effectively, and also, Simone, achieve the business objectives, which is what we're trying to do when we actually execute a strategy.
Yeah, and I think that flows to what we were talking about in previous weeks of making sure you've got the right people in your leadership that understand the strategy, right? So you can actually feed up and down the line as you need to the stakeholders and to those people that need to be involved in actually making everything happen.
Absolutely.
There's so many intricacies to actually all the cogs spinning, right? And everything working.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than what you think of just creating a plan and then going, here you go, do that, make it happen. All right, let's move straight into the third question and my last question for you. Are you happy? I haven't done any sub-questions today. It's 3 questions. That's it. We can move on. All right. Question 3. When encountering unforeseen challenges during your strategy execution, how do you bring the focus back to the task at hand? So we all know that shit goes wrong, right? Or we might need to deviate. You might think that this is the perfect thing. Something in the environment changes, something in your team changes, and you need to pivot. How do you make sure people actually are on track and don't go off shiny objects going everywhere, trying to problem solve or redo the strategy? What is your recommendations to keep moving forward?
All right. So first thing, don't kill anyone. No. Look, encountering unforeseen challenges during any form of strategy execution is actually incredibly common, right?
Mhm.
Successfully navigating these hurdles actually requires a blend of adaptability, clarity, and resolute focus. Okay, I talked about vision. Now you got focus, right? So let me just share with you how we bring the focus back to the tasks at hand in a lot of our clients' organizations, whereby I don't just write their strategy, I then also run their quarterly leadership sessions where we reset the quarterly priorities to achieve the strategic plan.
Mhm.
So, I'm very used to this. So obviously, the first thing we do is we always say to people, pause and assess. Okay,
Okay.
self-reflection, self-awareness, all of those things. So we actually do, and we do this in Evolve, right? We do every quarter a huge self-reflection or self-awareness exercise. We spend almost 2 hours on it, and
Mm.
it's an absolute eye-opener for people. Um,
Yeah.
then what you do is you revisit the core objectives. Okay,
Mhm.
so and that's what we do in Evolve as well. Now that I think about it, we actually then revisit the core objectives, and clients will do the same. And then we look to have a really open discussion
Mm.
and really communicate openly from all levels of leadership, all the way down to the people doing all the work on the floor. And then
Yeah.
we reset the priorities. Okay,
Mm.
that then what we do is we adapt and we reframe certain
Mhm.
areas. We will even do some scenario analysis. We'll engage all levels of leadership.
Yeah.
And then what you also do is we often will seek in moments of serious navigation, even external input from other
Mhm.
consultants. We'll also re-energize the team at that point. So there'll be some kind of group activity that rebuilds the momentum.
Okay.
We'll also then go back into training and skills development really
Mhm.
intensely. At this point, I like to establish checkpoints in organizations, and then we document the learning. Okay, really
Yeah.
important. We document all the learning, and then we normally do some mindset work around keeping people positive. So, in essence, the unforeseen challenges are just part and parcel of strategic execution.
Yeah.
The key is not to avoid them, but to be prepared and equipped to handle them with, Bronwyn's favorite word, grace, adaptability, and an unwavering focus on the primary objectives, which are normally their yearly or 5 yearly goals, along with our BHAG. Um,
Mm.
so, I really love the questions you asked today. They're so in line with what I do every day.
Yeah.
Um, all the questions are, but today, my jam. I love strategy above all things, and you know, and I, and I normally people come to me when they want to navigate. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
Kristian, would you like to be the captain? And I'm always like, let me look at your financials. I know you're a sinking ship. Go somewhere else. And if you're one of those, I'm sorry, I can't do turnarounds unless I buy
Mm.
the company. I can't do turnarounds. It's if I'm going to do a turnaround for someone, I want to have the end prize. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Mm.
They go and hire consultants and advisors or coaches when they're already stuffed. Don't do
Yeah.
that. When your business is finally growing and making money, that's when you should invest in someone, right? Like someone today, actually on the call, said something that I've never heard before. The industry is very it's like snake oil, and I
Mm.
thought, right, never heard anyone say that to me. And it's like, oh no, I didn't mean it like you. I'm like, no, that's not you. I said, no, I know it's not me because I don't like the rest of the industry.
Yeah.
But I think that this is where I always say to people, there's a very big difference between a business coach, a coach, and then advisors, right?
Mm.
And there's a big movement now with a lot of people starting to call themselves advisors. I've
Yeah.
always been a mover and a shaker for
Consultant. I've I've noticed that it's business consultants now. That's
yeah,
becoming a buzz as well.
if anyone out there looking to engage in someone, um, you know, ask them how many businesses they've actually owned and operated, successfully
Mm.
sold, and you know, there's a lot of stuff that you can search for on the internet these days. Have they got really good stuff? Have they got really bad stuff? Right? The bad stuff is actually sometimes good because it means that person is actually pushing the boundaries. And what have they done? Like today, Facebook kindly reminded me when I was awarded my honorary title of adjunct professor at the Adelaide University, and I was like, oh wow, that's a great reminder. And then I actually dug it up and I found the letter of appointment, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. I have been questioned before whether or not that actually really happened. Wish I had this letter at the time. But it's like, so there's a lot of skepticism out there, and I get it. And I think that's also why we love jumping in and doing the hot seat in particular, which no one has apparently seen today. So I'm assuming there's a glitch, but also we're not getting the feed. So if you are watching, can you just do #live for me? Just anyone? Or we just got crickets?
We've got one person coming in live. It's interesting, a word I use.
Oh my God, we have someone.
Yeah.
After 16 minutes. Hello. Hi, whoever you might be, just do #live. We're just trying to see if this thing is working. We can't see what platform and we are about to wrap it up. So who is it that said they love to tune in for our 30-minute sessions?
Oh, it was Jack. Jack's saying what.
That's right. So Jack, sorry, disappointed. Today we just gave it to you all really hard and fast for 16 minutes.
Yes. I was just going to add on that. I caught up with someone who I was in an old coaching program with, and the word that we both used about the industry was actually jaded. Like, people are just feeling really jaded from their experiences because a lot of people do have quite negative experiences in this industry. But I think for me, it's always not writing off the whole industry because something didn't work, because, it's not just the coach's fault. Potentially you haven't found the right person for you. So it's a two-way relationship within that. But I think you need to be really aware that keep searching for the right people. Don't just go, I'm going to write that all off and I'm not going to have anyone to assist me in my business.
Well, I think it's just about, checking if that person is real, but also if you're going to go and do any kind of program, make sure that the person that's face is in the business is actually in that program. Like, and I know the guys out there that I hate on me for saying that, but you can't run I know we're all in business to make money, but I've got money. I'm in business to help people, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm genuinely in business to go, I want to help people. And, and I look at guys like Aaron Sanzoni, for example, who still does all of his presenting, right? Like, do you know what I mean? And he's got money. Very astute investor. If you want to learn about sales, that's where you go. I've never met Aaron in my life. But I admire how he's packaged himself. He's an early stage investor in startups and genuinely has made wealth and created it and loves to show it too, which is, I think he does that to validate because it's important. But, then there's so many other people out there that they don't even coach in their own programs. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. What am I paying for? And then the peer coaching shit, right? Where I look at it and go, hang on a minute. I'm paying 50, 60 grand a year to be in a one-to-many program for the sake of a community. But then you actually, there's no coaching. And then the coaches are other business owners. Like, whoa, what am I paying that for? Right? So, that's a big thing for me. And, that's what we always said, didn't we, Simone? That we're never going to do that. Like, I say no. I can't do one-on-one work anymore because of my capacity, but I can't say no to it because I love it. And I love being, and my gurus and my mentors have always said to me, Kristian, you can't ever give up the one-to-one work because it's what keeps you really sharp. And I think that's what happens to these guys. They get so busy running their company, they forget why they started that business. And that was to share how they did it. And you can't do that from a boardroom, right? Like, I'm a chairman of independent companies. I don't run the operations, right? And I oversee strategy, right? But I can only write the strategy if I'm actually appointed to write the strategy.
Yeah.
Right? So, and for that, I don't write it on my own. I write it with a whole team of people that are in the trenches. So, these are the things that people should look for. And you've got to remember, the higher the food chain you go, the more expensive people get. Right. Yeah. So, you can't have illusions of grandeur that if you, start up business with $5 in the bank, that you're going to come and work with someone like me.
Mm.
right? Like, and that's a fair statement, because I wish I could help everyone, but unfortunately we can't, right?
Yeah.
So, but what we can do is build other programs like our Customers in Demand program, which, by the
Mm.
way, the one person listening, hi, and thank you for hashtag live. But we got 6 love hearts, so there must be more people
Yeah.
watching, and thank you for the love hearts. It's amazing. But it's probably Jack 6 times from 6 accounts. But I think what's really important, Simone, is that everyone needs to find something. Don't be jaded if you've had a shit coach before. I apologize that you had someone that was shit, right?
Mm.
But don't disclude. But don't go chasing the magic bullet,
Yeah.
right? That's the issue. Go and actually speak to people. Go speak to a strategist, someone who genuinely understands. I have lots of conversations with people that can find a way to sneak into my diary through speaking to you. And 15 minutes is all they get. And someone can impress me in 15 minutes. And if they impress me, we have a corporate social responsibility program. We normally coach. I haven't done that for a while, actually. Well, I've got 2 people at the moment. I normally have 3. I have tapered that back to 1. That's how we started working together. And then you ended up becoming my general manager. So, I guess that's a really good example. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking now, because I actually I want to go. I need to go, because I have at least another 5 calls to make tonight, client calls, and it's been a big day so far.
Absolutely. We did get off track there at the end. We were going so well for time, and then we ruined it. But it was worthwhile.
We did it for Jack.
We did, 100%. Kristian Livolsi, thank you very much for your time as always. It's a pleasure to hear your insights and your wisdom on all things strategy and execution today. We'll be back next Wednesday with the hot seat, 5 p.m.
Work with Kristian is a game changer. Hi, I'm Adrian Lee from GrowthLink Coaching and Consulting. I started working with Kristian in August 2020 as his LinkedIn growth consultant. We worked together on his LinkedIn brand for about 12 months before becoming business partners in Growth Outsourced late 2021. Kristian is a hidden genius. He helped me break through a significant financial target by restructuring my growth consulting online business offer. I don't know of any one person who can give you so much focus, clarity, and structure to live your purpose and get shit done. He holds you accountable to your words and gives you the tough love when you need it. I love his no BS approach to business and life. Everyone needs a Kristian Livolsi in their life. Do whatever you have to work with Kristian. This is just the beginning for us, and I am super pumped to continue.